The first and most obvious side quest becomes available immediately once we go outside the clinic. And you can either go immediately back to the clinic, back into it to pick it up directly from the doctor, or you can go to the community board and pick it up. Either way.
This is the like missing robed person. Right?
Yeah, and this is like a really long side quest. Like if you take your time, this side quest alone can take a full 45 minutes. But I thought it was interesting, at least. The name of the side quest is Of Robed Men and Ransoms.
Yep.
You know, and you get it from Dr. Sheiran, and it starts by him showing you a ransom note from like a couple thieves who apparently they kidnapped this robe guy, and now they're demanding 1 million gil from this like poor doctor.
Look at this place. Can barely afford bandages, never mind our ransom.
Demanding all this gil for
the return of a random robe guy.
For the robe guys that are just throwing themselves off bridges.
Sorry. I know. But because the doctor is such a good-hearted guy, right? Like the doctor does care, so he asks Cloud, and Red is, I guess, the companion here in this quest for help. And then he gives us a UVA flashlight.
Yeah, to like track the bioluminescence or something.
I guess, yeah. It makes human sweat glow purple.
Right, but then Red can smell from like the letter,
Yeah, so the Red picks up the scent. We exit the town. We go through the desert. We fight some annoying monsters we'll talk about later. And then we find a chocobo carriage that's parked outside of another old mine called the Old South Corel Mine.
Right.
And when we flash our flashlight in there, we start to see handprints and footprints leading to the cave entrance. So we go inside. Ernest, did you do this side quest?
It's a really big, long one.
It's long. It's 45 minutes.
No, then I did. And I was like, I don't remember this at all. And
okay.
I probably did not do it.
It's the only outside side quest that you can do before going to the gold saucer.
In this chapter.
Yeah, in this chapter. So it's like you're prevented from kind of exploring the desert area at this point.
It's actually like a mini dungeon.
Yeah.
You fight off monsters, you find like treasures and random caverns, there's puzzles. You keep using this flashlight to like look at footprints and handprints to make sure you're on the right track. And the whole purpose of it is to track down this kidnapped like robed guy. And there's even like a super large room where you have to use a grappling hook to swing all over the place. You remember this? And then you land on like an upper platform. You have to like flip a switch. It's part of the puzzles, right? It unlocks a door.
Yeah, that opens that big door that you can't get into. But like it lets you go up to the door, but then it's like you have to open it another way. And then that's what makes you look around.
Right. And that's when you have to go around.
It's a whole to do.
It's an extensive side quest. Like it's a whole dungeon basically. And by the way, this is when I really realized that I hate the Deathclaw monsters. I hate them. Dude, they like can either one hit kill you or at least like one hit 1 HP you and then they kill you.
Yeah, they're freaky.
Yeah.
Well, the whole point, like when you assess them, it says if you dodge their like big attack that will kill you, that's what pressures them.
Oh.
It's just to avoid it. You're probably going in like, I'm just going to chop you. But you're.
Yeah, you know me. I'm just like.
But you need to dodge it because if you dodge that big thing where they snap on you, then they get pressured and then you kill them easily.
Interesting.
If you go in guns blazing, they're going to eat you.
And I'm guns blazing, but I'm also changing characters constantly. So like I get a hit in, change, hit in, change. And they usually kill them right after I get the hit in. And I'm like, come on, you know?
Yeah, you have to dodge them on like specifically.
Okay, I probably should pay more attention to the actual tactics. I'm just like, no, I'm going to chop.
Especially because the boss of the dungeon is a Deathclaw.
But he doesn't, I don't think he has the one hit kill.
Oh, okay.
He's like a little morphed version of it. But yeah, like to your point. So eventually we come to this big cavern and we encounter like a blonde lady and some guy who starts out wearing a black robe in disguise. But then they turn out to be our kidnappers or culprits. And they're criminals who like announce themselves as like.
They come up with names for themselves.
Yes. And these are their names. Ellie and Barry.
Ellie the elusive and Barry the brash.
We're the world's greatest double act.
Ellie the elusive.
Barry the brash.
I just think, like, if I were to write a character who's, like, supposed to be this hardened criminal, I probably wouldn't call him Barry. It's like, I don't know.
That's funny.
But they whistle. They call in this, like, mini boss monster called the Dark Claw, which is, it looks like a death claw. But, again, I don't think it has that annoying, like, one-hit destroy move, or at least I never saw it when I was fighting it. And he's not very hard. Like, you can fight him pretty quick. And then at that point... Then the kidnapped robe guy comes out from the shadows and he points at Cloud and he says, reunion or whatever.
Reunion.
Which is hilarious because he beats the monster and they're like, hey, like, tell us where the robe guy is. They're like, well, we know where he is and you'll never find him. So you still have to pay the ransom. And then all of a sudden he just like walks out. They're like, what the heck, dude? You're supposed to stay hidden.
Give us the guy or you're next.
Ah, shit. Now what?
Now nothing. Dog or no dog, they're never gonna be able to find that dude without us. Hear that? Give us the money or we're gonna... What? Hey! We told you to stay put!
I knew we should have tied him up.
He's like attracted to Cloud for some reason. Like he points at Cloud, which is kind of interesting. He's like reunion and he points at Cloud.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to talk about the quest, because he points at Cloud when he says reunion.
Which is interesting.
It makes you wonder why he does that. And it makes me think that while the game is trying to get us to believe that Cloud is suffering from the same degradation as all these other robe guys, Cloud's version is actually different. He's special in some way, right? And then, of course, having played Original 7 and Crisis Core, I know things about Cloud that haven't yet been revealed in Rebirth, pending that they keep those major plot points in this reimagined version. But the developers could also be trying to lead us off the scent and then totally throw us for a loop.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that happens.
It's weird that he's attracted to Cloud because he's past 1 million robe guys and they don't turn around and like start walking towards Cloud, right? So yeah, maybe they're throwing us off the scent. But Ellie and Barry, they ended up saying like, oh, dude, you're a soldier. And then they again hit us on the head again. And they're like...
Yeah, they see his eyes.
Dude, you don't have much time left.
What? Old buddy of yours?
Barry, look. The kid's eyes. He's a soldier.
No wonder he wiped the floor with that monster. But time ain't on his side. Even the strongest ones don't stay strong for long. Sooner or later, he'll wind up like all the rest, another mumbling hooded freak.
They hit it home again. Like it's so much in this chapter.
Yes.
Like, Cloud, you are going to turn into one of these.
Exactly. They say the quote is, even the strongest ones don't stay strong for long.
Yeah.
The criminals say this about soldiers to Cloud, hitting us over the head.
Yep.
Totally. And then the kidnappers escape. We let them escape because we have our robe guy and that's what we came for. We return the robe guy to Dr. Sheiran, where Red asks Dr. Sheiran if it's true.
Is it true that soldiers' cells degrade?
Believe me, if I knew, I'd tell you. But Shinra keeps a tight lid on everything soldier-related. Only doctors with access to those secrets are the company's own. I certainly don't qualify. If anyone here was gonna have answers, it'd be you, son. Been feeling under the weather?
Not really.
It sure would help if I had a blood sample from someone who was like not one of these guys.
I know. He actually asks again.
The procedure you boys underwent was cutting edge. So much so, I doubt anyone in the company knew what the long-term effects might be. The more information we have, the better. So, change your mind about that blood sample?
No.
Well, one of these days I'll win you over.
And that's the end of this massive side quest. And again, it's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's big.